The extravagant existence of billionaires often seems worlds apart from ordinary life. From mega yachts to private jets, these ultra-wealthy individuals live an unmatched lifestyle of luxury and leisure. But how did they amass such fortunes? Join me as we pull back the curtain on the habits, decisions, and risk-taking that built some of the greatest personal empires in modern history. Let's start with the world's richest person, Elon Musk. His current net worth sits at a staggering $230 billion. Musk made his first millions in the 1990s as a co-founder of Zip2, an online content publishing platform for news organizations. After selling Zip2 and then founding X.com, which later became PayPal, Musk netted over $200 million at age 31. However, it was his next ventures that propelled him to billionaire status and changed industries. In the 2000s, Musk invested $100 million into his new space company, SpaceX, with the wildly ambitious goal of making humanity multiplanetary by establishing a colony on Mars. Most thought the effort would fail, but his team made history by creating the first privately funded, liquid-fueled rocket to reach orbit. Though losses plagued early operations, they persisted, and now SpaceX reliably launches satellites and spacecraft for NASA and companies worldwide. At the same time, Musk poured resources into a secretive new automotive company named Tesla. His vision? To accelerate sustainable transport and energy by making sleek, high-performance electric vehicles, along with batteries and solar products for homes. Leading auto manufacturers scoffed, believing there was no real market for EVs. However, the Tesla Model S stunned critics and consumers alike with its impressive specs and range. While the road to profitability was bumpy, Tesla is now the world's most valuable car maker, shipping over 1 million cars annually across 4 continents. Between SpaceX, Tesla, and his other entities, Musk's net worth soared on his way to becoming the richest private citizen in modern times. So what enabled his exceptional success? Former colleagues note his propensity to attract talent as much as capital with an intense, innovative working environment. Musk is also known as an avid learner who immerses himself in the details of complex technical disciplines. Ultimately, though, he dares to aim extremely high and risk repeated failure to achieve hugely ambitious visions before anyone else. If we shift from visionary engineers to investors and deal-makers, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates knows how fortunes are built. Once the world's wealthiest person, Gates amassed over $100 billion, largely from the software empire and technology legacy he created with Paul Allen in the 1970s and 1980s. In early 1975, 19-year-old Gates called his childhood friend Allen to reveal a breakthrough, the MIT's Altair computer shown on the cover of Popular Electronics magazine. Gates saw personal computer potential and boldly claimed they should write software for this machine, even though they didn't actually have an Altair to run a program on yet. Allen was skeptical, but soon they created a version of the programming language BASIC that ran on MIT's hardware. It became the first product for their new Microsoft partnership, launched later that year. What came next changed the trajectory of personal computing permanently. Microsoft created and acquired operating systems like MS-DOS that ran on early IBM PCs and Apple devices. As these systems spread with third-party application software in the 1980s and 1990s, Microsoft amassed billions a year from per-device royalties and licenses. Though Windows and Office now dominate, Microsoft secured crucial early operating system deals that ultimately dethroned giants like IBM to enable their PC software and services dominance for decades. Unlike SpaceX or Tesla, Microsoft did not aim exceptionally high or take wild risks in their early days. So what sparked Bill Gates' staggering success? His accidental access to cutting-edge computers as a teen set him on a learning path to see where the market was heading years before most. With that insight, he designed one of the most lucrative and long-lasting partnerships in history with Paul Allen, and later, CEO Steve Ballmer. However, his drive to put a computer on every desk and in every home, coupled with brilliant and ruthless tactics, cemented Microsoft's software monopoly against intense competition like Apple in the process. Beyond technology luminaries, colossal family wealth has also produced billionaire magnates across sectors like fashion and investments. In places like France and Italy, billionaire dynasties still reign, with fortunes and influence passed down across generations. Take French businessman Bernard Arnault, for example, who narrowly trails Musk and Gates as the world's third wealthiest person. As CEO of luxury retail conglomerate LVMH, his net worth sits near $185 billion, thanks to his long-term majority ownership of over 70 distinguished brands. We all know iconic fashion houses like Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Givenchy. But LVMH also controls champagne labels Dom Perignon and Veuve Clicquot, high-end watchmaker Tag Heuer, the Cheval Blanc chain of luxury hotels, media outlets, and more. Though he studied engineering, not design, Arnault entered the luxury industry through his family's civil engineering company called Ferré-Savinel. They acquired a majority stake in Financière Agache, a holding company that owned renowned fashion house Christian Dior. Envisioning an empire, Arnault assumed leadership in 1984 and began acquiring brands across cashmere, perfumes, accessories, and champagne. In 1987, he became CEO of LVMH as they purchased powerhouse Louis Vuitton. What followed was an aggressive 30-year buying spree that included iconic brands like Tag Heuer watches, Loewe leather goods, Sephora cosmetics, and over 20 wineries and champagne houses. So how did Bernard Arnault turn high-end fashion into a $415 billion personal fortune? By spotting trends and seizing brands with global prestige early on, LVMH nurtures revered labels whose timeless cachet allows pricing power and customer loyalty across economic cycles. For example, they purchased cashmere maker Loro Piana during the 1990s luxury boom in Asia and acquired Bulgari right after the 2008 financial crisis. While critics condemned these bets as overpriced, brand-savvy Arnault knew such historic names would continue driving outsized profits from China and India to Russia, the Middle East, and beyond. Now rivaled only by tech elites, Arnault far surpassed his father's and grandfather's construction company's success. He tapped into rapidly expanding post-war affluence by curating a stable of elite brands that symbolize exclusivity. Over 3 decades, LVMH repeatedly captured growing international demand for conspicuous luxury consumption. Of course, petroleum potentates also claim membership among the ultra-wealthy with sprawling business empires in extraction, processing, and commodity trading. Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani provides a fascinating rags-to-riches story of outsized ambition. As the son of an Indian middle-class apartment landlord in 1960s Mumbai, Ambani grew up comfortably but was hardly rich. Yet his father held enormous influence as the founder of Reliance Commercial Corporation. What began as a modest yarn trading firm in 1966 rapidly expanded into Reliance Industries, one of India's largest private conglomerates. It first supplied polyester and related chemicals utilized in fabrics, apparel, and packaging across sectors countrywide. From a young age, Ambani assisted with operations and boldly planned for rapid diversification, despite little formal business education. By inheriting the chairmanship of Reliance Industries in 2002 upon his father's passing, Mukesh Ambani aggressively sought vertical integration and synergies across textiles, petrochemicals, oil, gas, and retail. Banking on India's accelerating economy and middle class, he steered Reliance into telecoms and broadband to become an e-commerce, entertainment, and digital services titan valued at around $250 billion today. Called India's richest person, Ambani's estimated $95 billion wealth stems largely from privately held shares in this family-created corporate empire. However, Reliance market dominance has also drawn accusations of questionable political influence and ongoing legal action related to corrupt regulatory practices. Like Elon Musk and Bill Gates, outsized ambition from an early age defined Mukesh Ambani, albeit through succession planning for an established family firm. He rapidly expanded into capital-intensive sectors by utilizing vertical integration and size for economies of scale against rivals. However, Ambani also masterfully anticipated democratic India's consumer growth and regulatory shifts to repeatedly place Reliance at the forefront of new economic booms like 4G mobile broadband. Beyond technology innovators, luxury brand curators, and oil barons, the financial sector produces plenty of extreme wealth through hedge funds and deal-making. Ken Griffin started stock trading from his Harvard dorm room with a fax machine, computer, and phone to become America's wealthiest hedge fund manager. His net worth recently surpassed $30 billion, entirely from lucrative returns from the Citadel Group's quantitative trading methods and strategies. However, the poster child for big money investors remains Wall Street legend Warren Buffett, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. Often called the Oracle of Omaha after his modest Midwestern hometown, Buffett made waves by crushing market returns year after year through shrewd opportunistic investments guided by long-term fundamentals rather than short-term sentiment. His disciplined, value-driven strategy prioritized buying stocks of companies priced below intrinsic value during market dips or crises. Dubbed a conglomerate holding company, Berkshire Hathaway owns household names like Dairy Queen Restaurants, Fruit of the Loom Apparel, and Geico Insurance, along with dozens of utilities and manufacturers. However, the bulk of Buffett's net worth comes from the astronomical share price appreciation in Berkshire Hathaway stock itself. By plowing company profits back into more ownership stakes instead of dividends, Buffett compounded book value by around 20% annually for decades. Recent figures put his total net worth at nearly $125 billion at 92 years old, largely from his 17% stake in Berkshire alongside trusts and stock options. So how did Warren Buffett grow a struggling textile mill into one of the world's most successful investment vehicles? As a numbers-obsessed teenager, Buffett read economics books voraciously and studied annual reports for fun before getting rejected by Harvard Business School. After learning practical trading from early mentors like Benjamin Graham, Buffett applied Graham's margin of safety concept by acquiring strong companies priced substantially below perceived value. This contrarian perspective lets the ambitious young financial analyst capitalize on market overreactions. Shaped by smart mentors and resilient through harsh experiences like his textile firm collapse, Buffett evolved a far-sighted, opportunistic strategy. Over 6 decades, he compounded Berkshire's book value into mammoth ownership stakes across insurers, railroads, utilities, and manufacturers, able to generate steady income during recessions. Today, Berkshire Hathaway remains a testament to patience, practicality, and taking the long view when others succumb to irrational exuberance or panic selling. The executives, entrepreneurs, and empire builders we've surveyed all reach the upper echelons of wealth, privilege, and possibility. While coming from different backgrounds, Buffett, Arnaud, Gates, Ambani, and Musk all possessed relentless drive and an appetite for calculated risk-taking. They envisioned unprecedented ventures, built formidable capacities despite competitive or technological barriers, and ruthlessly acquired market dominance for sustained growth. Ultimately, though, their wealth stems less from lavish possessions than from vast ownership shares in lucrative corporations, along with the prestige and influence attached. Their lifestyle reality more resembles extreme personal mobility and minimal materialism focused intensely on legacy ambitions than extravagant indulgence or leisure. For the ultra-rich 1%, daily work and responsibilities look nothing like those of the average wage earner. Corporate leadership spans continents, not conference rooms, with thousands of staff executing their visions tirelessly. Yet, material excesses common in media portrayals hardly capture most billionaire lifestyles accurately either. In fact, quite modest living would surprise many, given their seemingly unlimited means for indulgence. But for the world's wealthiest, bigger and more meaningful motivations, like advancing industries, generating massive shareholder returns, or leaving an impactful legacy, they drive their behavior more than fleeting luxury consumption ever could. So does examining the wealthiest human beings reveal the pinnacle of success? Or do happier, more balanced lives exist by focusing beyond the individual to leave things better than we found them? The choice is ours. But making the world a little brighter need not take billions. It only takes vision, caring, and sharing our passions freely. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos.